Good morning, everybody. Got your coffee? I got mine. Rest. Mind your business. Mind the business that pays us, right? Right. That's what we doing. So before I get started, I just have to tell you people who turn on your turn signal when you're at your turn how special you are. I want to take a minute to let y'all know how special I think y'all are. Y'all are extra special. Y'all really do. I don't understand how it's logical to you all that once you're getting ready to make the turn, that's when you turn on your turn signal. No, the turn signal is a warning. And it is to warn the other drivers around you what it is you are about to do. Once you've slowed down traffic and you've gotten to that corner or that driveway, the rest of us have already been inconvenienced and figured out that you're slowing the rest of us down because you want to turn. This is what happens when they defund education and they take things like student, driver's ed out of schools. And the people in your family who also don't know how to drive and don't know the rules, also don't know the rules of the road, teach you how to drive. Yeah. Anyway, listen. It's going to be a trigger warning for today. It's going to be a hard conversation. So get your coffee, get comfortable, because I'm gonna say something hard, and it is what it is. Before I do that, though, I want to say thank you to Carrie. Carrie, thank you so much for your support of the library pantry. Carrie, thank you so much for your support of me. Thank you so much for your support of what I am trying to accomplish with this platform. Thank you so much for being here, listening, with your ears and heart, and being a good community member. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everyone who shows up for me. And I want to say thank you so much to those of you all who really do, whether you understand it or not, you make my life easier. I have had less days of wondering how we are going to pay the electric bill, or in the summer months, I'm always so stressed out about the water bill because I am a gardener, and gardening, those bills get high in the summer. They can be. Because America really is becoming so unaffordable for my family, and just thank you. And I don't think that I say thank you enough. I don't think that I take enough time out with my thank yous. I don't think that you all truly understand how much you bless me. So I just want to say that. Okay. With that said, everybody, I want Black women to come to the front of the room. Now, this is a trigger warning. And also, too, I am going to use my own life experience here as an example, because it is the best example that I have, even though this is something that happens. It's a common thing that happens in our community. However, I am respectfully requesting that even though I talk about my mother, whom I have not spoken to in 15 years, that you don't speak on my mother. Because at the end of the day, she is still my mother. Okay? And my feelings about her are my feelings about her. You don't know her to have any feelings, thoughts, or opinions about her. And sometimes when I can talk about things that are personal, a lot of people can take liberations and make assumptions that they have no business making or doing. So I just want to make that clear. Thank you. I appreciate you for respecting that. With that being said, let me tell you, in my family, I was the first to start breaking generational curses, I think. And it was hard. It was hard because I got so much pushback. And one of the things that I spoke out was about my mother's first husband, and that is my brother's father. Um, he adopted me when I was a year old. I didn't know that he was not my father until I was 12 years old. And obviously when I found that out, funny how I found that out. I found that out because my mother became angry with him during the divorce proceedings, and she just kind of blurted it out. She didn't prepare me for it. She didn't sit me down. She just blurted it out. And at first I was devastated, but then it explained a lot of things. It explained the difference in how he treated me versus how he treated my brother, and why he did the things to me that he did to me. When I told my mother about him molesting me from the ages of 8 to 12, she had a very violent reaction to that. She grabbed me by my ponytail, she grabbed the car keys, and she tried to force me into her vehicle to go and confront this man who, by the way, had already left her. He was no longer in the home. So that was why I felt safe in saying it, because I was spiraling. Because once he left the home, you have to understand, and I think that mental health care experts that follow me will testify to the fact that when your abuser is in the home, you are in survival mode. Even I think a domestic violence victim can understand it. You're in like a survival mode. You're just trying to survive one abusive moment to the next. But then when the abuser is gone from you, removed, then what starts to happen is that you go from victim mode to feeling safer. And when you feel safer, once you become safe somewhat, you start processing all of that trauma. And I was a child, and I was not processing the trauma well at all. And as a matter of fact, I didn't process it well for most of my life. My trauma was compounded by the fact that my mother didn't believe me. She called me a liar. She became a different mother to me. And that's what I want to talk about. We as Black women, we have to stop picking the men over our children. We have to start picking the community over these men. We do. Again, this man had left her. He wasn't even in the house. So she didn't even have that conundrum that a lot of women have. Like, do I put my husband out of the house? Do I leave this marriage? And don't get me wrong. The answer to that is absolutely hell yes, and every single time. Absolutely. I don't even know why women have to think about that. But some do. She didn't even have that. And she still chose the thought of that man over me. For years, she called me things like whore and slut and bitch and fast-tailed, fast-ass heifer. And what that does to the spirit of a child, a little girl child. What it did to my self-esteem. Not only did he nearly destroy it, but she almost finished it off. At least were the emotional abuse, because not only was he sexually abusive, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually abusive. When he left, she picked up. The sexual abuse was gone. The physical abuse, for the most part, was gone. At least to that degree, it was, because that man beat on me every chance he got. He would literally create reasons to beat on me and then molest me. But she picked up with that emotional abuse. When I was a little girl, I had the most wonderful, beautiful, amazing mother. But when I made that accusation and I told that truth, it was like something inside of her just, she turned on me. She did, for lack of a better way to put it. That's the only way I can put it. This woman turned on me. And for the rest of my life, to this day, she will paint a narrative of me, of being the worst person she has ever met. Because of it. Now, we have had our struggles. I have done her wrong. She has done me wrong. But this is the root cause of our issues. Now, I don't know if she called me a liar and did the things that she did and treated me the way that she did to absolve herself of guilt. I don't know. But the only thing that it would have taken for me to forgive my mother was for her to just say that she believed me and to just apologize for me having been in that position in the first place with someone that she knew was a horrible human being. She missed the signs. And the thing of it is I don't blame her for any of it. She was a young woman, a mother. And wherever the fuck my biological father went, she wanted a father for her child. And he was a black man working. And I believe that he was her first real love. But he was a monster. And I think that at the end of the day, you would have to ask her, I don't know. I think she feels a way for having loved a monster. I tell you this very hard personal thing because Black women, we are the backbone of the Black community. And if we do not make ourselves strong enough to break the curses and the cycles, who else will? We have to keep our children safe. We have to keep our communities safe. This is the time, times like these, when we have to put ourselves aside for the greater good. And we have to tell ourselves some hard truths. That no man is worth our child's childhood, our child's safety, our child's sense of self, our child's self-esteem. Stop turning on the daughters and the young girls in the community so that you can absolve these men who are nasty and dirty and predatory and criminal. And so that you can absolve yourself for loving them. We have to be brave. We have to believe our children. We have to believe our daughters. We have to believe our sons because it happens to them too. And whether their predator is a man or a woman, we need to react the very same way. If we do not take this time of rest and hyper focus on our communities and the issues within our communities, we will turn out yet another traumatized generation. Now is the time to break generational curses. No matter who we were in the past, no matter who we were yesterday, if you opened your eyes, today is an opportunity to be better today. If you have this lived experience with your own daughter, pick up the phone and tell her that you believed her. Because I tell you, we don't walk away from our mothers for no reason. The bond between a parent and a child is the strongest bond that there is. And for someone to break that bond, whether it's the parent that breaks it or the child that breaks it, is something to it. Pick up the phone, tell her that you believe her, tell her that you love her, and start over. From this day forward, work together to make it better for your grandchildren. Those of us who were not good mothers have the opportunity to be good grandmothers. Take that opportunity, because when we draw our last breath, that is it. It is over. It's a wrap. And things left unsaid go to the grave with us. I want to thank you for listening. Do something nice for someone today. If you would like to support the platform and everything that we do over here, I will leave my Cash App and my Venmo down in the comments. We have to focus on us right now. Break them curses. If we don't do it, sisters, nobody will. And the cycle will continue.